Do kitchen-related toys and dolls, well, do they send the wrong message? What about construction toys? Does it mean anything if my niece only wants to play with those? Okay, what about my father-in-law calling my niece a pretty girl? I mean, she's pretty smart too. And how about my nephew's baby shower registry? Should we put some feminine toys on there to go along with those masculine toys? And how much of a difference does all this stuff make anyway? Ugh, I mean, you can go crazy thinking about some of this stuff. And the biggest question of all, how the heck do I figure this out? So let's start with the basics. Children aren't born with gendered expectations. They're not passed along by heredity. They're taught, and at a young age too. And whether you know it or not, those gender stereotypes can have a long-standing impact on child development. By the age of 2, most children are conscious of social relevance and gender, and by the time they reach grade school, they've already developed a clear sense of what's expected of boys and girls and how they're supposed to behave. And that's accomplished through everything from parenting, education, and even down to retail and marketing. But here's the disturbing fact. So research has found that 22% of girls and 9% of boys have self-harmed. However, those who have experienced same-gender attraction have experienced increased self-harm. And at the same time, that report also found that children whose friendships emphasize traditional gender stereotypes also have a history of a lower well-being. After that sobering statistic, I'm sure you're wondering, just like I did, as someone who falls into the aunt, uncle, or peddling category, what are some of the things that I can do to help my nieces and nephews? Well, first, we can avoid promoting gender-appropriate behavior, whether that's masculine or feminine type play, or even something as simple as saying boys don't cry. 2, we can think about children's learning environment and teaching materials. We can ask ourselves, what messages to the books I'm getting my nieces and nephews send? Do they promote societally ingrained gender stereotypes, for example? And 3, we can be mindful of gender language. Phrases like pretty girl, brave boy, those things can set up unconscious stereotypes that can have a significant impact on a child moving forward. So let's revisit some of those questions from earlier in the PSA. As for niece 1 and her dolls and kitchen toys, well, let's see if she maybe likes some of niece 2's construction toys. And what about niece 2? Well, it's a pretty good chance that you've got a future civil engineer on your hands, so you better watch out. As for that pretty niece, well, tell her she's pretty smart too, and make sure you remind your father-in-law of that too. As for that nephew's baby shower, try talking to the parents about changing up the registry, or go rogue. Buy your own gender-neutral gifts. As for the importance, well, haven't you been listening? And last but not least, how the heck do I figure all this out? And the answer is, you won't. Just do your best. Thanks for listening.